saved you from future mistakes.
Is this our fate to run as shadows? Light generals die in bed. Speed of light and vantage point. It's true, don't have the seams inside the devil's will, and let's judge you outside.
surely. Anything is two things. Anyone is two. William, are you? Anything is two things. Anyone is two. Anything is two things. Anyone is two. William, are you? Anything is two things. Anyone is two. I know you base your beliefs by the book. Till it burns, and you release your grip. Ha 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 Waste I need deep. Waste I need deep. I know you base your beliefs by the book. Till it burns, and you release your grip. It could be arithmetic. It could be a science. It could be arithmetic. It could be arithmetic. It could be a science. It could be arithmetic. You'll need a sign. E, 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 E. You'll need a sign. It could be arithmetic. E, E, E. It could be a science. E, it could be arithmetic. It could be arithmetic. E, E, E. It could be a science. E, it could be arithmetic. E, E, E.
Brechtje, Allison, and Tristan, thank you for this wonderful music. What did it feel like to be on such a large stage in such an empty auditorium?
Pretty weird,
Yeah.
Tell me more.
but nice.
Nice?
Tell me more, Beth.
It did have a beautiful resonance. So it was really nice to sing in here.
Even without people?
There's even more reverb without people.
Tell me.
I don't know, we've been preparing for weeks or months just in our room at home. And then there's also no people. So in that sense, it's kind of the same. And then what's kind of the same also is that it's still a really odd experience, or like a overwhelming experience, because we're standing here in this gigantic empty hall. So it's of course a very different thing than when there's audience and that you get that energy. But on the other hand, who gets to do this?
Yeah, it's just a different
yeah.
thing.
We have to put some stuff straight. You were quite close together, you two, the girls, at the synthesizer. But you're roommates, right?
Yeah, we're roommates and we're engaged. We're gonna get married next year.
Congratulations.
So it was safe to have the 1.5 meters.
It was okay to be,
Yeah.
just to clarify to the audience. You were here before playing at the Doelen, but in some weird capacity. What was it again?
It was another band called Jerboa, and it was during the Crosslinks Festival. It unfortunately now stopped, but it was this really cool festival with focusing on how did they call it? What was it again? Classical pop. It was something like that. Classical music mixed with pop music, and they did it all through the building for multiple days.
But you were not on this stage. You were somewhere upstairs in.
Yeah, somewhere up in the attic.
It's such a gigantic building. How did you prepare for this? You were supposed to present your album at the Rewire Festival. That didn't happen. So, how did you prepare for this?
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I mean, the preparation, we were going really gung-ho toward Rewire for several months. We were kind of doing our own version of, I guess, Beyonce's Homecoming. I don't know, like, have you seen the documentary about how she prepares for Coachella? We tried to do our own little micro version of that in the house, which was just like 3 months of everyday training on something, whether or not it was like building the tech to make everything synchronize and work with we have visuals and lights as well in our regular.
Video,
yeah, so making everything talk to each other, and then also building and programming all of our instruments to work. So we were working every day for months, and then we got the news, and then we didn't really know what to do with our energy.
whole tour gone.
Just going so like 120 kilometers an hour, and then was just all of a sudden stop. But yeah, I think in general, the preparation for this show was, we just resumed where we left off for Rewire. So the same kind of preparation with the rehearsals, but just way less time in the room together.
Yeah, we could only rehearse once instead of 2 weeks.
In order to keep distance as well, like it was just, we couldn't have everyone in the house for the kind of rehearsal. We actually wanted to do like 2 weeks of full-time rehearsals for Rewire in another venue with a team of people, and it's just not possible for something like this. So it's just the condensed version, I guess.
But you didn't lie back and think of Australia or Britain or whatever. You actually worked quite hard during the lockdown. You told me you made a few videos. How many did you make?
10, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so because I released my record nevertheless, so when all the concerts were cancelled, still the record had to go out. And then we were thinking, well, we've prepared so much, we're all ready, what should we do? What can we do with that? And then we came up with the idea, well, maybe we should record ourselves in front of a green screen, and then we can do anything with that material. So we re-recorded all the parts of the record and put all of these recordings together, and then I've been editing that into 10 music videos. And we're still doing that right now, so it's a full-time thing already since actually 3 weeks.
And when are you gonna drop them? When can people see them?
We're going to show them first during a live stream. We're going to live stream for 24 hours straight. And during that also we're gonna invite a lot of people that have contributed in the project, in the making of the album. It's about 30 people that are going to be in the stream. And in total it was about 50 people that have had a role in this record. And we'll show these videos then. And then after that, once a week in the next months, throughout summer, we'll release a video on YouTube.
So this period is actually quite a creative period for you guys, maybe. How do you experience it? Is it like, are you devastated, or are you actually working on stuff?
What about
Tristan?
For me, yeah. I mean, initially it was sort of demotivating, I guess. But then, yeah, you have a lot more time than you normally would to be creative and do things that you, might not get to otherwise with a busy schedule. So that's like the videos or recordings or yeah.
So it's not all bad for you.
It's not all bad for
personally.
me.
No.
I'm quite fine actually.
How about you?
Well, yeah, we're healthy in
Yeah.
any case, and our family and friends as well. So we have a nice house. So in that sense, we also have little to complain. And yeah, and it's in general we because we live together. Also, our house is a little factory, so we just anyway always have something boiling. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in that sense, actually, it doesn't feel that different. We're pretty isolated anyway, always just sitting in our basement making things. Yeah, so
What do you miss most? How about you? What do you miss most?
What do I miss most? Yeah, engagement with people. Just, yeah, I find that, yeah, I really craved it. Even just being here today, I just want to have extensive conversations with people while we're working, just because it's like, someone, please, let's talk. But then, this is, it's a work environment, so, back on track. But yeah, just casual drinks with people and, yeah, eating food out of the house as well with, yeah, and the shows. I think, yeah, that was just the big lead up to preparing this thing. And then, yeah, a lot of people are going to see it at Rewire. That's going to be great to have that kind of physical engagement in the space. But it'll happen. It'll happen just later on. We're looking at next year, so.
what I also miss is, I think now I'm starting to realize there's going, how to say it, you see, signs are appearing of what the longer impact is going to be. And what I'm already starting to miss is the feeling of security that if you're going to develop a project right now, that next year it can get into a venue. And the only risk that there is that if you're not good enough, if you didn't do your job good enough, well, then you don't get in. But that was the main risk. And now, or the main insecurity. And now I do miss that the security is gone of that those venues will be there. Like we're all just hoping, and no one knows when this is going to end.
You were supposed to go on tour in America, in New York. When do you think do you think it's going to happen?
We're hoping for next year, April, May. But yeah, we'll just have to wait till the borders open.
There's something I want to talk to you about. I discovered that you do a newsletter, only it's a written newsletter. Could you tell me a bit about it? What's the reason behind that? I know, but nobody else seems to know unless you go to your website.
Yeah, it's called the Post blog, and it derived from me feeling quite uncomfortable with social media for a while, and I didn't feel like I could really convey or share what I was doing musically. Also tell about the projects that I was doing. Most of the posts were there was just enough space to say how exciting it was, what amazing people were part of it, and when the performance was. And then afterwards, it was so amazing or great. But then I was thinking, well, but I would also like to tell about the composition or about how it developed or what the concept was. And that's kind of where the idea came up for the post blogs to ask people if they could give me their time. And in return, I will make the time by handwriting a reflection once every month or two. And trying to be really open in that. And it's been really fun so far. I've done eight letters. And yeah, people are taking the time. So that was exactly what I hoped.
It's sort of like I discovered that people are sending each other postcards again, or little small trinkets of something. It's sort of going back to before the internet almost. Even though you use the internet, I find it really fascinating. And I think lots of young people are into that now. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely an analog kind of resurgence of that kind of thing going on. I think it's really wholesome. It's really tactile, and yeah, it gives you a sense of the physicality of being close to someone, even if it's just through a letter or just knowing that you put pen to paper and then you get to keep that. It's like a kind of a physical keepsake. It's really
And
nice.
people like tangible things now. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
like, I mean, the rise of vinyl records again.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, I mean, I grew up just, a lot of music was just MP3s now.
Right.
And now people really need to have this.
Have the thing, actually hold it.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
When all this is over, what are you looking forward to most? What will you do first?
What will I do first? Well, it's hard to say because we don't know when it's going to happen.
You must be thinking
If
about,
it's-
so, like, what are you missing so much that you would love to go and do right now?
Fly to Hawaii or like.
I like to touch things in public and then touch my face afterwards. And so that would be nice to do again.
How about you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah. Also, yeah, just giving people a hug, just having people, also just being easy with having people over,
Yeah.
just the ease that you don't have to think about that.
Oh, I've got one. Going to the supermarket and not feeling horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or going to the market?
Yes. Yeah, well, any of these sort of places. But I don't like feeling anxious when I'm buying, like, milk. That's not nice. So I look forward to that.
Thank you very much for this talk, and I hope to see you back in the Doelen on this stage.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
would be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And good
much.
luck.